But you wanted to start with Funhouse?
Yes. I also got the Shout Factory 4K. Director Tobe Hooper, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Life Force, pays affectionate tribute to various classic horror movies in this tale of two teenage couples who spend the night in a sleazy carnival funhouse. On her first date with Buzz, Cooper Huckabee, True Blood, Amy, Elizabeth Burridge, Amadeus, disobeys her father and goes to the carnival with Richie, Miles Chapman, Hare, and Liz, Largo Woodruff, the Ladies Club. But their first date may end up as their last. After witnessing a murder, the four terrified teens are trapped in the maze of the funhouse and stalked by a real monster, a horribly deformed killer who lurks among the freakish exhibits to butcher them one by one. Also starring Sylvia Miles, Midnight Cowboy, and Kevin Conway, Invincible, in 3 roles. The Funhouse features special makeup designs by the ingenious Rick Baker and American Werewolf in London, Ed Wood.
The Funhouse, I had seen it before until recently, and then I saw that the 4K was coming out, so I watched it on Shudder, and I really enjoyed it. But the second time for this show, I enjoyed it even more. I just felt like there's so much that Tobe Hooper does as far as like building the suspense. I feel like he really takes his time. But yeah, what was your kind of introduction to the film?
I was probably like 10. I was really young. I was probably too young to be watching the movie, but I was up late with Mom and we were watching Son of Svengoolie, which is like a Chicago local. I talk about this in the essay, but it's a Chicago local, like Elvira type sort of format where he kind of like introduces the show. He goes a step further though, and like he added like fart noises into the Funhouse. And like other like zany sound effects. So I mean, like that was the only reason I was really able to watch it. Is it was Son of Svengoolie, so like Mom was like, okay, whatever, this can't be like too scary. But I like loved it as a kid. I remember like playing that I was the killer at the end, and I would fall back into the orange lights that Mom had up in front of the window, so I'm being electrocuted at the end. Yeah, it was I like really enjoyed it. And then I kind of forgot about it because like I like got old enough where like I was able to actually watch like Halloween and Texas Chainsaw. Funnily enough, I actually watched all the remakes first, and then I went back and watched the originals, and like now I prefer the originals. But yeah, so then the Funhouse got kind of lost for a while. I didn't watch it again for many years. And then I saw that that Shout Factory had the Blu-ray out, and I was like, is this good? I really don't know. Because, you know, the fart noises does impact your perception of it. So I ended up streaming it online, and I watched like the first half, and I was like, this is a really restrained movie. Like he really takes a lot of time building the tension. I really enjoyed it, so I bought it, and then I watched it with Ricardo, and for a long time Ricardo and I were the only two people I knew who had seen it. Well, I guess Mom too, but like I'm not going to talk with Mom about the movie because she doesn't want to remember it, I'm sure. But yeah, well, like
just the way that it starts with like the Hitchcock shower scene type thing, where I was like, okay, what are they trying to do here? And then it's the brother. It's like a prank.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. It was like tension, and then there was kind of predicting like, okay, this would be just like Psycho or a homage to Psycho, and then it turns out just like the brother messing with his sister.
Well, and they do the reference to Halloween because like he picks up the clown mask and puts it on, and it's in his point of view. It's similar to the opening of Halloween.
That's true.
In which a brother murders his sister. So like even if you pick up on the hints that like it's a younger brother, you might think that this is going to be like the opening of Halloween where he murders his sister. And then no, it's just a prank. It's a rubber knife. He is looking at her naked, so it's a little
I know that after the fact it's like okay.
But yeah, like was the prank really just to scare her? Or was there an ulterior motive? I don't know. There's not really an answer to that one, I feel like. But
yeah, I don't think they had the best relationship.
Oh no, they have a terrible relationship, and then that comes like full circle at the end when he's like, I mean, like, yeah, he's catatonic, but he actively makes the decision to like leave her there. I love the references to the Universal monster movies. Like, they must have been some way affiliated with Universal, because they have a lot of paraphernalia in there. And then they show a clip from Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, in the living room, I believe.
And then the killer is wearing a Frankenstein mask for for like the first half of the movie.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't know if we wanted to go into too deep of spoilers, but the killer is sort of relatable to Frankenstein in some way.
Yeah. I mean, should we say spoilers and talk about it? Because like I feel like the second half of the film is just like, it just changes on a dime in that one scene.
It really does. You know, you start with this like well, I don't want to say slow burn, but it sort of is in a good way.
Yeah.
And the teenagers go off and do their thing, and then that's a really nice setup for the funhouse. We have like the whole different areas of the funhouse, and you know, see these live human creatures and all this.
Oh yeah. Like they have a freaking freak show with it.
Yeah,
where you're like, yeah, you're just like, really? Like there's still a freak show in like 1980? Like, damn.
Yeah, the town that I grew up in is near Wichita, and they had a place called Joyland, and the funhouse reminded me of this place at Joyland called the Wacky Shack, where you would ride the rides and you'd see all those, like, people would stand there and scare you, or they would have the animatronics, sort of like funhouse, but you know, of course, there wasn't this crazy thing going on behind it. There was no secrets, but there kind of was. There was this weird time where one of the janitors or lawn keepers got his head cut off by the roller coaster. Like there was some weird stuff that happened at Joyland in Wichita. But so that's what I kind of thought of when I was watching this.
You know, I think there is something there, like the dark side of the happy stuff, like at the carnival especially. It's just so fun. It's like it's like a physical representation of a loss of innocence in a way, because like you're seeing behind the curtain of like the thing that brings children joy.
Yeah.
And like how it really operates.
And we have, you know, the kid brother is like walking through the carnival, and we get his perspective on things too.
Well, and he almost gets picked up by like a truck driver, and like we don't know what his intentions to that kid are. I mean, like he just kind of scares the crap out of him, but I don't know. Did he actually want him to get in the car? There's a lot of unanswered questions with some of that stuff.
Yeah, and there's this beautiful crane shot too.
Yeah. I think they do. There's definitely one at the very last shot of the film is a crane shot, but I think there's one in the middle too where they're just kind of showing off the carnival.
I think that's the one. The brother is walking around, I think, or something. It was something like that. You kind of get, it starts low and then it kind of glides through. It's a one shot crane thing. It goes through the whole carnival scene. The set pieces are amazing in this film too.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of flutters through and then hovers above, and then it's this beautiful wide shot of the whole scene, the whole carnival going on. I love that. The cinematography was great.
It was.
I also have the Frankenstein mask person. Him and the lady.
Wait,
what is she? The witch, right?
Oh, the fortune teller.
The fortune teller, yeah.
Oh, you're like, you have them? How do you have them?
No, I don't have them. I have it written down where like he
Oh, okay. I was like, are there toys of them? I want a toy of the crazy monster.
There's this like dark. It's like a dark. I thought it was funny, but it's kind of a dark scene where he's like trying to get laid.
Yeah. Like they're haggling over the hand job.
Yeah. And he finishes prematurely.
Yeah. And then she's still going to take the money.
And he wants his money back.
Yeah, and that's why he kills her.
And I felt bad for the monster at the time of the first time.
I felt bad for everybody involved. Like I felt bad for her too. I mean, like she's done this before. Maybe not with him, but like she's done this before. And she doesn't deserve what happens to her. I mean, like, yeah, she's like a little rude, but like, you know.
Yeah.
I also, the line when the dad comes in is like, you were gonna pay her $100 for a hand job. I could have gotten you one from one of the tent girls for $5, and you're just like, oh, this is a this is a thing. Oh.
Yeah, and that's Kevin Conway, and he plays like 3 roles in this.
Yeah, he's like 3 different Barkers, right?
Yeah, 3 different Barkers.
He's good.
He's great. And there's an awesome interview on this 4K with him talking about his experience on there.
Oh,
sadly, he passed away a couple of years ago, but they were able to give him an interview.
Yeah, I mean, Tobe Hooper died in like 2015, I think.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite? I kind of gave you guys my favorite scenes and stuff. What are some of yours? I mean, you can go into spoilers if you want. I usually don't.
Okay.
You can if you want.
I love the reveal of the killer's face. When the mask falls off and you realize what he actually looks like, it's a fantastic Rick Baker effect. I love how it parallels the freak show animal we saw earlier. And it's just like, it's that moment where you realize you're watching a different movie than you thought you were. I love the like chases through the funhouse. I think the like layouts are really interesting. It's like way bigger than I feel like it should be, but it's still so fun.
Another scene just came in my head. It's the one they're kind of in that air shaft, and she's
yes,
with the fan going, and the monster's right there.
Mm-hmm.
That whole sequence, I mean, the way that it's framed and plays out, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, like, I just feel like every scene in the movie works really well. It like it's either building tension or it is like paying that off. It's really dark too, you know, like it and it's dark not in the like, oh man, like teenagers are getting murdered, like, you know, your typical slasher sense. I mean, like there's that too, but like there's a wickedness in that is missing in some of the other ones, and there's just a wickedness in the way that life is normally within the context of the movie. I don't know. It's just it's very interesting because like you start off in like very realistic sort of suburbs, and I love that like the parents are watching a Universal monster movie and they're not letting the kid watch like when it's his favorite thing ever, and you're just like that's kind of casually cruel. You know, like at least
especially when they're about to face something crazier at the carnival.
Yeah. And then like they each like go on a journey like to the carnival. His is obvious. The little boys is obviously longer than the teens, but that like kind of works as a like descent into a different reality, and then you're in the reality of the carnival, which is like the carnival is fun because it like acts as almost a quasi magical space, like just because like it is so ephemeral. I mean, like obviously it's not in reality, but like the effect that it has is like it doesn't seem like a place that should exist, and definitely not for very long. And then they like descend into the fun house, and it's almost like an extra layer of descent into hell.
Yeah, and it's like an escape room too.
Yeah, they are like locked in. they don't even like, okay, so like she gets out at the end, but like they don't even show what she does. She clearly like turns on the mechanism so that it crashes the car out, but we don't see that. She just kind of like walks through the smashed door. And then she just walks out into the sun, because it is really a survive the night type of movie.
I think it takes place in one night.
It does.
That one night, and yeah. So
it's already dark when it starts, when he like is going to stab her. So it's really like over the course like 12 hours.
Because it's after hours, and I believe the kids are still in the funhouse.
Yeah.
Right. Or they're just doing like teenager things.
Yeah. They've snuck into the funhouse to have sex.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is, that's what kids do.
Yeah. I love the scene where they're in the two separate phone booths and they're each calling their parents and saying they're staying with the other one, but it's all one shot. Like we just move from one phone booth to the other.
I think there's something about a phone booth that's cinematic.
It is, yeah.
Too,
It's funny too, because like they do mention Elizabeth Burridge, which she's one of the main characters in Amadeus, and they mentioned that on the back cover, but she's really good in that movie too. But like such a different movie.
I haven't seen Amadeus.
Okay, it was like
on my list.
I think it won the Academy Award in '84 for Best Picture. It's from the director Milos Forman of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep.
I actually prefer Amadeus. I don't think you will, but I think you'll like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest more. But it's a fantastic film.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it soon with my dad. I'm going to go down and visit. And,
nice.
He's going to show me Amadeus. But I have a question though. Isn't there different cuts of Amadeus?
There are. There's a director's cut and there's the regular cut. I actually have the director's cut. I think I've seen the theatrical cut, or I at least read what was different between them.
So which one would you recommend?
Honestly, they're about the same. So the main difference between the two,
Spoilers.
Like I don't know how to tell you.
No, that's okay.
Without spoilers. They're very similar, and one of them, Salieri, does something that people really think was like a step too far for him. Even though he's attempting to murder Mozart, I'm just kind of like, if you're going to be a murderer, I think I wouldn't put it past him what he does in that scene. And that scene is not in the theatrical cut of the movie. So, I mean, on some level, I get why people wouldn't want it in there. And on the other sense, I'm like, I could see it happening. I could see his character doing that, and I think it would make perfect sense. I think it's well acted, and it plays out like... but if you see the theatrical cut and then watch that one, you might think even worse of Salieri, but he is an anti-hero to begin with. I mean, like his motivation is to murder Mozart for most of the film. So like,
well, let's take him to the funhouse.
Yeah.
See how long he'd survive.
Oh no, he would like, well, you know what? He wouldn't actually be in there after dark. Like that's not somewhere he would go. Actually, he probably wouldn't go to the carnival to begin with, but no. Assuming he did, he's not staying. So like he'd probably survive because he wouldn't stay back. But if he was magically teleported into the funhouse after it was locked, he would probably get killed immediately because he would be like, what the hell is going on?
That's great. That's hilarious.
Just imagining F. Murray Abraham in period costume in the funhouse.
They probably think he's one of the freaks in the tent or something. Or one of the workers.
Yeah.
This disc from Shot Factory, it's a new 4K scan from the original camera negative. I think it looks amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I was watching like a film reel at home.
Oh yeah. When it started, I was like, I can't even believe how good this looks. they did a really fantastic job. Like, this film has never looked better.
Does it look better than the Blu-ray?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, the Blu-ray looked pretty good, but like this is like a different level. I'm so glad I got it. And I mean, like, it is one of my favorite films. Like, well, I don't know, like, it definitely is. Like, I think I put it in our top 50 for our at some point 250 list. But but yeah, I don't know. I was very happy with it. I loved it.
And I think this movie, The Funhouse, is one that you could rewatch, several times.
It grows on you. It's
really only like 96 minutes, so it's not too long either.
Yeah, and I appreciate it more and more each time I watch it, I think.
I do now that, I've seen it twice, and the second time was better than the first time. So
For more Return of the Disc, visit returnofthedisc.com. Check out the audio version of today's show, available on all major podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.